Well, it's been an interesting winter window so far here at Dinamo Zagreb as we look to be given a squad that will arm us with strength and depth to compete for the title this year. We are 4 points ahead of Rudez in second place and we face them back to back over 3 days today. So hopefully we can pull away in this title race and then turn our attention back to Europe. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 44 of the Coach's Head with me, Daniel. This competitive season in Croatia is going up another notch, and the transfer window so far this winter, I wouldn't say has massively helped us out. We've had a great decline in the average height of our centre halves in the squad due to a sale and a replacement so far, and we've also just lost one of our star midfielders who is yet to be replaced too. So going into these two games, it is not ideal timing. We face back-to-back the side that are directly below us, and then last season's champions a week after that. On positive news, we have snuck into 8th place in the Europa League, and that means we avoid an extra game in February. But over the winter break, we've had a long injury to Timmy Cooper just as he was hitting form up front, and there are a few areas of the squad where we're starting to look a little light. So if you're looking forward to seeing how we get on today, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. We will, of course, update you if there's any transfer news as we go along. But as you can see from the schedule since the winter break, draws galore is the subject of the day. Let's have a look at what's been happening. So the unbeaten run has continued, and we've won the games we were expected to. We picked up one brilliant win against Rangers, but there's no doubt that the European form has affected what's happened at the weekends because drop points at Lokomotiva and against Rijeka have pulled Rudez back into the title race going into these games. And it's a horrible month with them twice last year's champions and Osijek, who aren't far behind in third. But since you were with me for the brilliant performances against Osijek and Hoffenheim where we picked up 2 points, but to be fair, the Hoffenheim game we should have won. We won 4-0 away at Sibenik, 2 goals for Timmy Cooper, 1 for Suslov and 1 for Samardzic off the bench. We won the cup quarter final against lower league opposition. We battered them but couldn't break them down. Dunic in the end got a rare goal late on off the bench. Next game against Hajduk Split, comfortable 3-0 win. Timmy Cooper got his injury early in this match, has been out ever since, still not returned, and still will be out for a few more weeks yet. Suslov, Byshel and Medina with the goals there. A 4-0 win against Sarajevo thanks to Simic and a Beto hat-trick. We're going to need a few more of them from him. He's not actually scored since December, I don't think. He also scored in a game against Vukovar, the last one before the winter break. Fode Fofana got a brace and he scored from the spot. But then, since the winter stopped for 5 weeks, it was a great result on the first day back against Rangers. Diambu, an own goal, and Medina put us 3 up and we were fairly comfortable. But it's just harmed us since then. The mix of not having people fully fit, we couldn't play lots of friendlies in the winter break, so I was scared of injuries because we had so many players out already and we just didn't want to wear people down. There were also a few that were fatigued, so I chose to go in a bit light, and that maybe cost us against Lokomotiva, where Maeda scored a penalty to open the scoring. We then conceded from the kickoff, but we didn't look like winning that game. A good draw away at Real Sociedad. That snuck us 8th place in the end. We did concede in the last minute, which cost us another 400 grand, but still, good result overall. And then a 2-2 draw against Rijeka, and again, a late goal against. We went ahead twice through Maeda and through Fofana, but threw it away late on. In that one, Hugo Gonzalez also picked up a knock. But you will have seen a few new names somewhere in those lineups, so let's go and have a look at the transfers to see what they are, because there's a right back that is currently being signed. We'll wait and see if that deal goes through because plenty have been rejected so far. We've had offers rejected for Diambu, for Samardzic on loan, and there's also an offer going in for an attacking player that might benefit us. But if we have a look at what's happened so far this window, there is one big in that has joined us since it opened and 2 fairly big name departures, certainly from our first 11. The first one is the biggest of them all because it's 6'6" defender Aver. He's gone to Stuttgart for less than 2 million quid. Now, he's not actually the best defender in the world. He's brilliant in the air, but his composure's 8. He's 12 at the defensive attributes. He can't pass it. He's not quick. He's not strong. So it's not the worst deal, but the replacement has left me less than comfortable. Let's put it that way. The other one that's gone just a couple of days ago is Edvard Tagsev, who at the moment was a starting midfielder. Maybe opens the door a bit for someone like Butarak, the youngster coming through the academy. But in that holding midfield role, we are a little short today now. And that's a big issue because we could do with quality going into a big game like this. But at 32, to get a few million quid for him, it's not a bad deal, is it? It's just who the replacement is. And at the moment, no sign of a midfielder coming in. The only other first teamer that's left the club is Dunjic, who scored that cup goal. He wasn't getting near the squad. It was one of his very few appearances. So I understand that deal. Hopefully he gets some game time. Let's move on to the ins where we've got Bafara joining just as a youth player. He's rubbish, won't feature for us. But this is the replacement centre half. Now, we were in Denmark last year. We were at Copenhagen. We know that there's not many great centre halves of height. And it's the same problem with the one we've brought in. Mihail Palendikov has joined from Bromby for just over 4 million quid. He's 5'11", his jumping reach is 9. In every other element, he is a far better defender than Aver. He's also quicker, he's stronger, physically he's better, defensively his technical attributes are better, he's even slightly better on the ball, and he's slightly better on the composure front, the concentration front. But he's not as brave and he's not as good in the air, and that to me is a huge worry. So we'll see how he gets on. He will be starting in this game. Hopefully, he can deliver the goods for us because he ain't going to get any taller at 25 years of age. So that's the transfer work so far. There's still a bit of money left to spend, so I'm hoping that we'll see a centre midfielder join before the deadline, which is on the 15th of February. Will we be in the command of the title race, though? That's going to be the question, because at the moment, we are 4 points clear of Rudez, who have had a great season. We're 6 points clear of Osijek, having played a game less. But if we lose these games, Rudez will be top at the end of the episode. It's in their hands, it's in our hands. Have they done anything in January very quickly? No, they haven't, but they also haven't lost anyone. So let's get through to the fixtures and see the team we can put out for this. They played a narrow diamond, which seems to be causing a lot of trouble for some teams this year. And I'm hoping that with our slightly weaker holding midfield role, it won't come back to haunt us. We're going to try and take advantage in wide areas. We haven't got Quezada, who would normally start today. He's not fit. He's joining permanently soon, but he's going to have to wait till the midweek match. And that means that we're reliant on one of our homegrown players who's not got any match fitness to come in the holding role. As we mentioned, and as you saw at the bottom, we're still without Timmy Cooper, who still got a couple of weeks to go. He's out long term. And that means we've only got Beto really as a striker. On the bench, we're talking about chucking Maeda up there, chucking one of the attacking mids up there. It's not ideal at this point. Hugo Gonzalez out as well. We're a little depleted. But this is the 11 we're going for today. It is Ted Kurd in goal with Simic and Araujo the fullbacks. Palendikov joins by Shell in the centre of defence. Diambu and Kale the two holding midfielders, with Suslov a little bit in front of them. And then on the wings, we've got Medina, who's now the top scorer, and Malajo over on the left, and Beto, the experienced striker up front. But really, he's only a regular threat from the penalty spot. Doesn't often have goal-scoring games. Let's go and get through to it, though. First v second. And these two games over the next 3 days will probably determine whether we're going to run away with the title or get sucked into a battle. Let's go and find out which it is. Well, no changes for Rudez today, but they've not had midweek football to worry about. That's something we've been dealing with a long time. This is ironically probably their first midweek game since the winter break, something we wish we could say as well. What we are going to say though is this is the first of consecutive matches and we need to show them what we've got. By Shell, I don't want those nerves. I need you to perform. You are the senior centre half here. You're now the only height from set pieces. I need you to deliver the goods. Into the first half we go. The away game is the first one. We can avoid defeat. Am I being ambitious to say 4 points if we can hold them here and then beat them back at home? Or do I have to take advantage of when the first 11 are out? Because in 3 days, I imagine some of these won't be fit. It's been a quiet start. There's not many highlights so far. We're in for another boring one, I think. We're going to give a bit of encouragement because there's not a lot happening. And hopefully we get some sort of response soon because the first half an hour has flown by without incident. Well, it's a good job. There was lots of transfer and fixture news to go through when we got here because otherwise this would have been a very short episode, wouldn't it? One shot on target in the whole game. We've not seen any highlights at all. And despite the fact the lads are inspired, there's no sign of a response on the pitch. Although I say that, we're going straight from the kickoff in the second half, which might be worrying for us because it's Rudez in possession. They're playing into midfield. Can we nick it off them or are we going to concede? Araujo goes up. Shell wins the header though. Suslov does well to find Araujo on the right. He's been great for us since he's come back in. And full disclosure, Vladson is fit and on the bench today, which is a miracle. Medina goes back to Araujo again. Into Carle, the man we brought in. Oh my words. I said we're going to be a little bit weaker today because we've had to bring in the homegrown player in holding midfield. The director of football knew all along. What is your long shot rating? 9. That is the goal of the season contender from Carle. He's brought it down on his right, put it onto his weaker left foot, and curled an absolute beauty into the corner. What a hero. What a day to produce the goods. As we're 5 gone in the second half, we're 1-0 up. Now can we hold on to it? Because we still look a little weaker in those central areas. We've not managed to take advantage out wide too much. I don't even know what he was doing up there. As Tepsic just poor against Mauricio. Good challenge, Suslov. No! He's not given a penalty for that. The number 10 works back, pokes it. From the animation, he got the ball and none of the man. But this will be given, I'm sure. Oh, please. No, it's no penalty. Now I want to know, who does that referee support? Because how on earth have you given a foul for that? VAR saves the day, and with an hour gone, it's not a great game. It's not a great performance, but it's one of those. It's a performance of champions at the minute. We just need to cling on for it. Look how narrow we've gone now. Malaysio's inverted. He's trying to protect that midfield. And Ruan is trying to play down the line. Can we nick it? Suslov gets in. And Beto plays a 1-2. Nicked it on the edge of the box. Almost snuck in there, but I'm going to have to take him off. I feel bad for him on a 6.2 as Beto wins it back again. Made that great interception a minute ago, which, as it wasn't a penalty, he should be praised for. It was a great tackle. As Araujo delivers, Beto's up. Doesn't often have a goal threat, but he does today in the big one. Go on, Beto. The experienced striker scores. And I think we can look at changes in a minute. This is an absolutely huge result. And I think with about 20-25 to go, we are going to make a couple now. We're going to bring on the young superstar Butarak, who is developing brilliantly and will soon be first choice number 10. He has been given a new deal, but he's got a release clause in, so we'll make the most of him while we've got him. On the left, it's probably going to have to be. Fofana's not quite fit, so I'm going to bring Maeda on. I just think he's still a bundle of energy. He's still got pace, he's still got fitness, and he can still finish, which is the main thing for us. Diambu's one who, if we don't take him off, just won't be fit in 3 days, but I don't feel we can take that risk. Vladson is someone I'd maybe bring on, but I'm going to leave that another 5 or so, and then he'll maybe come on for Medina, just be a more defensive option on that right-hand side. But I'd rather win the first game and know we're not going to lose anything out of this episode. At the worst, our gap will stay the same. And if we're a bit tired for the second game and we lose a bit, then so be it. They're going to have to make changes as well. And I'd imagine we've probably got a deeper squad than them, even with the injuries. As Evek goes over the top, it's not over yet, because that's 2-1. Defence beaten over the top. Not great work from them. I don't know what we're checking here, because that was onside by a mile. The defenders are appealing. No way is that off. That goal's going to count. Yes, it is. I think it's time that we do some tactics, because Vladson's going to replace Medina, and we're just going to put him in as a sort of standard winger on support. Maeda's going to stay up there, but then Simic, do we even take you off and go for a defensive option? I think we might, you know. Bjorkan is probably the best defender, but he's transfer listed by request now. So I'm going to go for Hugo Moraes. He's just going to be a fullback on defend. We'll have a support on the right-hand side because we've got support in front. In fact, no, let's not take risks. 2 fullbacks on defend. That will do the job. We've got 1 sub remaining. I'm not really sure what to do with it at the moment, so I'm not going to do anything. We're going to leave it like that. 18 to go. They have 1 back. Can we hold on for a win, or will they find a way to sneak a result? Well, 10 to go, and Beto struggling up front, so I think we're going to take the opportunity now to bring on someone a bit more defensive-minded on the left-hand side, and that's going to be Bjorkan. So we're going to bring Bjorkan on for Beto, put Maeda up front. Bjorkan will drop then to the left of midfield, which he can do, and he'll just be a winger on support. Don't know if Moraes is better up there. I don't think so. That's job done. 10 to go. I can't make any more changes. I've just got to hope that we can finish off the job. Diambu, can you just go to a defensive duty for me for a couple? And with 6 minutes added on, it's time to get it on. The time wasting is coming to town. Let's slow that tempo. Let's time waste. Be disciplined. Yeah, you can play for set pieces if you want. We can take a couple of minutes out the game there. Drop that line of engagement and get the job done. Buttarak, support duty for you. There are 6 minutes of stoppage time. We've played 4. Are we going to hold on? You bet we are. A performance of champions that. A 2-1 win away at Rudez. Not a great performance, but job done. A wonder goal from Charlie. And of course, Beto pops up with a big one. With a few key attacking injuries, that's a great result. Now let's see if there's any damage from that one. Hopefully there won't be, because I don't remember there being any injury news. And then maybe by the time we get to the weekend, we might have one new signing to help us. I don't know. Araujo with 2 assists and a great defensive performance. Loads of great players in the scout report. Go and sign some of them, Director of Football. That's what we want. We'll get through the post-match. We'll be back in 3 days as we do it all again against Rudez. But this time, we're at home. Well, no new additions to the squad yet as we reach fitness test time for the second of the double header. We have had a deal negotiated though, which may well end up seeing a new addition to the club. Timmy Cooper, as we expected, is not fit. Osijek, as we expected, won their spare game, so they could end up being the closest rivals after this one. But Rudez have the top scorer in the division. Emerson is the man we've got to stop. Let's get through the fixtures and see how we go. And who's fit from the midweek game on Wednesday? Weirdly, this is one of our lowest crowds of the season. Is it just because Rudez are a smaller team in terms of reputation rather than their position? Because that seems very odd on paper, but attendances in this year's FM are a bit all over the shop. Who's fit? Everyone apart from the hero. Charlie is the only one who hasn't made it, but Quezada would have come back in for him anyway. So Charlie, despite his brilliance, will have to drop out for this one. But we need him on the bench just to fill the homegrown quota. So who can he come on for? One of the spare left backs? We'll take Bjorkan out for Charlie there. We're also going to have a look at the fitness elsewhere. Any players we can bring in or take out. I think in attacking midfield, I'm tempted to make one change. Bode Fofana has been in good form. He'll come in for Malajo. And that's the team and the squad I'm going to stick with. So 2 changes from the midweek fixture. Fofana is in and Quezada are in. Both should add experience and quality to the team. If we go through to this one, let's see how we get on. If we win it, surely we're big favourites for the title. Well, 2 changes for us, and they've copied it. 2 changes for Rudez as well. Emerson is up front rather than in the number 10 from the start. And we're going to tell the boys we're on a good run. Why don't we keep it going? If you can win this one, you've put yourself in a great position. It's been a slow start. It's been a difficult season. It's been a competitive league, to be fair. Much more competitive than the Danish one, which I didn't really expect. But this could be the day that we start to set ourselves apart. And with European football and Cup football coming again in March, we're going to need a breather, because that breathing space will help us when we end up with those Sunday fixtures and we inevitably drop points. Early doors, though, it's a Rudez free kick, and Emerson has smacked the woodwork. Rebounds headed away. Not the first time, but we get it clear eventually. With 10 on the clock, you have to say we're a little bit concerned by that. As here it is with Puntar, who works into midfield. Back to Verberac, and they continue to press in our half. But for now, we have managed to survive it, and we're on the front foot with Suslov, who's lost the ball. He's going to be overtaken by that kid soon, I've got a feeling. I'm trying not to play him too much, because I know then he'll get sold in the summer for his release clause. I want to try and get one more half year out of him after. As Araujo cuts it back to Diambu. That looked a little bit clumsy, that challenge. We've had a VAR decision in the last game go in our favour. Rightly so. What about this one? Penalty or not? Penalty awarded. Beto's got the chance now. This is a big moment. The experienced striker delivered last time out. Got the winner with a header. He's been pretty good from the penalty spot this year. Until now. Why did I even kibosh it? Why did I jinx it and say that? 17 gone. First big chance to us. Beto has missed from the spot kick. Into the corner. Into the box, sorry, from a free kick. It's over the bar. Almost 1-0 the other way. And we're left to regret missing our penalty. Well, 5 to the break. We are dominating the stats today, but we've got nothing to show for it apart from a missed penalty kick. As Tepsic at right back for Rudez works out, Mauricio has been poached by Quezada, one of those fresh legs in the team today. Out to Simic on the left and finds Fofana, the other fresh player in, delivers the cross for Suslov. Did I say you were going to get dropped? Forget I said anything. You're always my superstar, Suslov. In you go with a goal. 1-0 to Dinamo Zagreb, right on the stroke of half time, and thoroughly deserved based on the pattern of the game so far. Let's get through the dressing room. No complacency. Get this job done, and then we can make changes. Into the second half, both teams are going to tire. But can we hold out? Because there is the new centre-half. Only 5'11", but he won the header there. It's back to Punta. Again, they've started the half well. They're pressing. They're high as Mauricio tries to go for the shot just wide. He dropped into midfield there. I think he has. With 5 gone in the half, it's Suslov on free kick duty as we hammer one up towards the area. Emerson tries to get there, but Medina on the right. Looks inside for Quezada. Got to say, Medina looks tired, to be fair. It's not played well recently. It's long towards Baishel, who deals with it well. Diambu gives it away in the middle. Gets a second bite of the cherry. Finds Medina, who I've just criticised. So will probably do something magical now. Beats his man, crosses towards Fofana. It was a teasing delivery. It was menacing. It was headed away as Simic delivers again. Medina's up, and now he scores. Who should I criticise next? Because the two players I've talked about being tired or not good enough have both scored now. How about Beto? You've had an absolute stinker. I think I'm going to drop you for the season once Timmy Cooper's back. Beto goal incoming from this one, I think. Fofana plays to Medina. Chance to shoot off the woodwork. And it's cleared away. The crossbar saves them. This is more like it. This is more like the performance we wanted. Unfortunately, though, the slander of Beto has not worked. What we have got is tired legs. Beto is one of them. I'm going to bring Dazim Maeda on up front. I'm also going to change Medina on the right. Viladson will make the most of him being fit. Just give him a few minutes. Drop him to a support duty as well. We've got a week off after this one, so we don't have to be too cautious when it comes to the fitness. But I do want to make sure we don't pick up injuries, which will be crucial, especially where we've not got much left and not got much depth in the squad. So with 15 to go, Suslov will drop out for Butarak. In a holding role, I'm going to bring on Fiolik for Diambu. And at right back, I'm going to bring on Puklin for Araujo, who's had his injury problems this year. Just go to a really solid base defensively and try and see out this victory because it's 2-0. The morale suddenly collapsed for some reason. But Puklin and Butarak, two of the homegrown players, exchanging passes in the attacking area. Butarak's drifted white and he beats his man. Gets it back to Viladson. Into Fiolik. Into Butarak. Great football. Butarak in. Now the youngsters are contributing. Fiolik assists. Butarak scores. They're the two players I've promoted from the under-19s this year. I'm taking some credit for that goal. They're the two players I've identified and promoted to senior level. And both of them have delivered a big moment for us there when we've trusted them in a big game. Rudez, it's been a brilliant season for them. But they're fading away now. It's us and Osijek, and that's going to be it. Fofana finds Butarak again, who loses it. But with 5 to go, surely we can't throw this one away. All of the focus can go towards Europe now because I think, despite the slow start, we might be all right in the league. It is 3-1, is it? No, just wide. Kurd was scrambling for that one. But what a performance it's been. Arguably one of our best of the season. Can we get the clean sheet just to put the icing on the cake? Quezada heads away as far as Butarak. He can charge downfield. How about a fourth goal? Looks towards Maeda, who should get there on the left. Butarak continues his run. He's in the middle. Can Maeda find a cross? He can. It's cleared away. Only as far as Mauricio. Fiolik back in. And for the second time. What an impact he's made. Another one who could be a starting centre-half by next year, which is his natural position. As Butarak goes wide to Simic. She's been magnificent. Into the box it will go. Butarak's there again. I think he might have won a penalty now. I've got to be fair, I don't think that was a foul. The animation again suggested the ball was won. But what will VAR decide? 90th minute, it's elementary really. But a penalty has been awarded. And it will be the experienced legend of this club. He's been a bit part for us, let's be honest. But Dazim Maeda is still popping up with goals. And this is now one of our most convincing results. It is his 40th goal for the club in league football. It's his 151st league appearance for the club as well. What a servant he's been. What a player he's been. And what a performance this has been. Without doubt, our best league performance of the season. A 4-0 victory for Dinamo Zagreb. Rudez are out of the title race. Now it's just us and Osijek. And then it's European football that we can focus on. We've got a couple of weeks of the transfer window to go. There are no signs of any signings just yet. Beto's going to get an extra year if he makes one more appearance. I'm going to have to do it because I need him to feature. Unless we've got Timmy Cooper back next Sunday, I don't have an alternative to that. The Croatian league table is looking much more favourable now a 9-point advantage, the first time we've opened up a gap, and Osijek, the only team who can really catch us. We're travelling there in a couple of weeks, aren't we? Yep, we've got them in the final game of this month, so that will determine how we get on. We're going to be back before that, though, because it looks like, from what we're seeing, it's going to be a pretty busy transfer deadline day. You don't get all the histrionics and the transfer items and the news items here in Croatia, but we're going to keep an eye on it anyway. If it looks like it's going to be quiet, then we'll return for Osijek and the Europa League. If not, it will be Varadzin and it will be transfer deadline day. We'll find out which it is together in a couple of days' time. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy us finally stamping our authority on Croatian football, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you think of our director of football's transfer work and the new centre-half he's brought in. And have I unearthed a couple of young stars that might actually be the difference between last season and this? If you want to stay up to date and find out the answer, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. Before this one returns, you can also find the action from the South End save up in the eye above. We're back tomorrow in that one, and we're having a really difficult season there. Probably our hardest in the best part of a decade. We've also got links to the Twitch channel and a football podcast in the eye above. Come and join us for championship predictions every single match day over on that channel. But thank you very much for being here, for following along as always, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time as we look to turn our attention to transfers and then Europe and the rest of this season with Dinamo Zagreb.